band. Will, we have a guest today, and it's 26th episode. It's my dear brother, Bud. My brother Bud, Bill Thomas, and the Billy Llama. He's been also named, but wow, Bud, say hi. Intro, say hi.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. It's amazing. It's surreal.
And again, I'm just gonna point out, like, you guys look like the same person. It's like really weird to me. Like I said, like Phil, like I get a lot of Phil, 8 hours a freaking day. So now on Wednesdays it's 10 hours because we do the podcast, and now it's like 10 hours. It's like 12 hours because it's double Phil. So I think I'm gonna have to take some like PTO tomorrow or something. It's a little much of Phil, you know.
He's got more hair.
He's beating you by a small margin. Yeah.
And he's younger.
You had the barrels loaded because you knew, and then once you saw it, you're like, holy crap, this is cool.
I don't know why. Like from the way Phil has described you to me, I was thinking like 6. I don't know why, but it was like 6'6", dark hair, like huge. Like I was thinking like you were like built like Hercules or something. I don't know why. It's just in my head.
Oh no.
You know? But,
Bill.
Oh my God.
That's
so
apparent.
fun.
Yes.
Wow. Well, so, but I told you that. And now here, this is like interesting, but he's really picking up. So, but you and I talked for the first of the year. So we texted back and forth, and we said, "Hey, I got this thing up and running, and we'll have to do a interview someday." And you certainly said, "Yeah, man, for sure." And then Christmas came. Yeah, say hi.
Yeah. It's so great to be here, and I've had to go back. Usually, my schedule of work is so iffy. And a lot of times I have to work on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever night you guys do it. So I have to go back and look at old episodes, but they're good. They're great.
There's something
so
else.
I've been catching a lot of older episodes.
See,
they're really good.
And Bud, the only reason they're good is because of your inspiration from my childhood days, man. Beatles in the 60s. Jax with the terrazzo floors, right? Jacksonville with the terrazzo floors.
All right. And we had, my room was next to yours. And so you could hear, oh no, yours was across the hall, but you could hear my music.
Yeah.
Remember that? Tracy. Our poor sister, between us both, when you got into it, she had no rest.
So Tracy,
I refused to turn it down.
Yeah. Yeah. We would handle it amongst ourselves, and eventually Trace would have to go to mom and dad and get mom. Dad was working. Yeah, dad wonderful. Yeah. That's all. Then we'll talk about that for sure. But with the whole playing stuff, but Trace would certainly go to mom and go, they got to turn that shit down. But she wouldn't say shit, right? She was like 7.
Turn it down. And we did for a bit. Then it probably went back up.
You turn it down and hope they go to sleep.
Yeah, right. I was not a good brother.
Well, Phil had lied to me at first because he told me that he was from Kissimmee originally, and then it wasn't until like some months after I knew him, he's like, Well, I actually lived in Jacksonville until I was like 10. And I'm like, okay, so you're not, that's a long time to live in a place to say you're from another place. Yeah.
Hey, that's okay. I've got one because actually I was born in Alabama, but I tell people I refuse. I refuse to tell people. So I go, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
And this is the part where Phil goes, well, actually, Will, now that you brought it up, I was born in Alabama.
Like that's
It's like, I didn't even touch Florida until I was 10.
My gosh. No, Bud and Trace were born in Birmingham, Alabama.
I miss Florida though.
Yeah, of course.
I miss Florida. I miss the beach.
But the short history, real quick. Bud and Trace were born in Birmingham, Alabama, because Dad worked at the naval base there as a musician.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
Maxwell
Bud
Air
Is a
Force.
musician?
Can you do a 1 minute 40-minute segment on that?
Oh well, I don't know how they got from New York because they went from New York, I believe. I think the Hotel Rose. No, they left from New York and they were invited to play at the Maxwell Air Force Base, and I think they liked them so much they kept them on. So that's
Wow.
how they wound up in.
And they
Was it
stayed
Birmingham?
there.
I'm not even sure where it was.
They stayed Maxwell, right? And right. But so Will, Bud and Trace were born there.
Right.
Oh.
And then Dad got a gig in Jacksonville, Florida,
Right.
and I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
And so the family moves, Bud at the helm, and Tracy, and they moved to Jacksonville, Florida. And I was born in 1962 in Jacksonville. And
Well,
that's right.
I have a question. Was your dad in the military?
No.
No.
He played for the military though? Like what? Like he did like the fanfare? Was he on the trumpet when
Oh,
they
it
were
was
like
like-
storming Normandy?
No, it was like they were the house band. They were the entertainment for the officers club.
Will,
what it Yeah.
Okay. I was
They were
like,
the
musician in the military. Was he like there on the beaches when they were getting ready to go on or something?
no.
Yeah. no.
Go ahead.
We're losing Phil.
Well, my sheet fell. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that's pretty
Weird.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
very-
yeah, they were the house band, and then I think when Maxwell Force, when their contract ran out, that's when they moved to Jacksonville. But I don't know the years, so that's sketchy.
Well, it would have been 61, 62 because I was
Right.
born in 62 in Jacks.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. So the Hotel Roosevelt
Yeah.
invited them down to be the entertainment, and yeah,
And
so that's
Jacksonville.
that story. And then they stayed forever. But
Right. Very cool. So that brought us to Jacksonville, where because Jacksonville was the scene to set this whole thing up. So this was a rather long intro, folks. Let's but this is so cool. So the episode's 26. It's a Brother Bud interview. And the subtitle of it, the sheet is my inspiration of all things music, and forever until you left, till you went to Atlanta, right? You were still like, he would like parse out and it wouldn't. I didn't even have to like, but it was almost like you had it figured out. Like he's like 2 or 3 weeks with that one. He would parse it. He would give me the albums like in perfect timing. Like when he gave me Houses of the Holy, Zeppelin. It was my first album I ever had from Zepp. He gives it to me, and he's like, he needs at least 3 weeks for that. But anyway,
So I hope that Phil has been saying for the longest time, right? Phil's been saying he goes, Bud gave me all my early albums and turned me on to like the music that I grew up to love. And I hope that Bud remembers doing some of this, because like in the movie Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby, he lives his whole life by his dad's words, and at the end of the movie he tells his dad, he told me if I ain't first I'm last, and I lived my whole life by those words. And his dad's like, I was drunk and high when I told you that. I don't even remember saying that shit to you. He's like, there's second place, there's third place. And so Phil is like, I'm going to get Bud on the podcast. He's my inspiration. Bud, do you remember when you gave me Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin? He's like, dude, I was stoned out of my mind. I didn't even know you had those albums. He's like, I gave you that stuff? Are you sure? It feels like I lived my whole life treasuring your stuff.
Oh, to this day, I still think one of the best gifts anybody could give anybody is turning them on to something new and new music. It's better than Christmas. It's like, when people do that, I mean, I write it down and I go look it up, and it's the best gift, man. It really is.
So recently I've gotten in that mode where I'm with this dear guy here on this co-host, Will. My God, he took me to Pierce the Veil, like back in the fall.
Yeah.
It was the UCF Arena, the old alma mater. They got this nice giant, not giant, but an arena thing. And saw Pierce the Veil and just blew my fucking mind. And so really since then, I was like, dude, we're doing the podcast and you got to be the co-host. It opened my eyes up to a whole new thing.
And Phil, you've turned me on to some jazz and stuff like that. Like Phil's actually showed me some music that I wasn't really super familiar with since I met him. And in fact, he never shuts up about music, so it's not hard to take something from him about it.
We're losing.
Out of those 8 hours of my day, 4 hours is about music. So,
but he caught on eventually. It was like, Will, come to the Beach Shack at Cocoa Beach, man. There's this great band. And after like the third time, he's like, I'm sure they are, but I can't go.
Yeah, Phil's a very local fanatic for bands, which is great, and I like seeing them.
Yeah,
I just can't do it 7 days out of the week. But
no.
Okay,
it's balance. So you have to have balance.
So I'm gonna get back to the sheets, guys. The sheet. Okay. It's really only one. So the intro is done. We're entering the shoot the shit. We've already shown our shirts, but we'll explain. Well, let's show the shirts again, Bud, and we'll explain it. Because I haven't talked to Bud in over in a year.
Yeah, these guys are wearing the same shirt. These guys are wearing the same shirt. Like, so right before the show started, Bud joins in, and we're like, oh hey, and I'm like, oh wow, Spitting Image, and then he stands up, and Phil goes, you're not gonna believe this, and he stands up. I'm like, you guys really didn't pre-coordinate this? Are you serious? Like, if there wasn't a sign that people are related,
no, I swear to God.
We haven't talked. We were texting.
It talked somehow, like telepathically, I think.
I said wear a cool shirt. We do. I said wear a cool shirt because we do the show your shirt thing. And Bud said,
"Yeah, it's a great idea, by the way. Great idea."
Yeah. Wow. So that's fantastic. So Bud, there's the intro, and what time we're on here? 15 minutes. Not bad. Okay.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up soon, man. You're right. Come on, 15 minutes.
Will, do you have a fucking football fucking like practice to go to?
Yeah, man, I got a lap dance. Sometimes I just throw something out there just to see if Phil will bite, and he usually does.
You guys you're perfect. This is a perfect co-host thing. Perfect.
Oh my gosh. Gold. So eventually I have to start paying them, but that hasn't happened yet.
I've been writing the invoice
right.
up though, so.
Mitch from Seattle said,
keep it up.
Yeah. We said, yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So thanks guys. So this is the shoot the shit section, which is basically I have a couple of bullets here of things we've done recently, and we're not going to cover Rockville. We won't.
I will talk to you about that actually later.
Gotcha.
Let's revisit that.
Yeah.
Let's circle back to that one. Let's tag up before COB, EOD end of day.
Damn, tomorrow I got new action items. Holy shit! Now I got more to do at work. So we sit in the same cube, bud, and he's an up and coming engineer, and sits on our cube. And
awesome, that's great. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So so shoot the shit. We've already shown the shirts. God, a lot of S's. Jesus. Eric's studio. So Bud, I'm gonna tell Bud this.
Yeah.
Will's already heard it to some degree and seen pictures. So Bud, Eric, he has a commercial property just outside of St. Cloud, and he back in the real estate days when the shit collapsed, he said, when I come out of this, I'm just going to own this property. That's all I care about, other than his house.
That's awesome.
So he owns this the commercial property. Like you drive by all these places, like a little tiny strip mall thing with the 3 storefronts. Picture if you were the owner of that. And you bought and you own it and you got the title. So the real, so you got it. So he's had that business for as long as Becky and I, but before that, he's had Eric's Tile since the late 80s, early 90s. Let's say early 90s. And then he got to buy it at the height of the real estate thing. So he built a studio, a music studio behind it. It's a 18 feet by 18 feet structure. And he built it by himself with help from Jeff and then another friend but Eric did it all. Except for when they had to raise walls and shit, like you saw like barns and shit going up, in the Waltons and shit. Then he had to have a couple guys to help him, but he built this thing. And I went over Sunday, and I had gotten he's setting up this, but Eric's setting up the studio, and of course he wanted help on the drums. It would be the drum set. I ended up looking out through Dave Schubert. I'll just blast through it. Through Dave Schubert, I came across a Tama drum set for sale. It was $225. Wow. I went and saw it, and I go, oh my God, this is almost the exact same set I bought back in the 90s when I learned how to play. So I knew that. Cool. I knew that ahead of time, and I bought it. And I took it over Sunday, and it was just, but it was just me and Eric trading stories, for 3.5 hours, just him and I.
Yeah.
To make a long
Yeah,
story
that's
short,
awesome. That
you know,
We'll put it in this.
just to make a long story short, Phil made sure he got through that in the utmost efficient way of talking about the studio and getting through studio. But yeah, Phil, didn't you jam too, or did no?
So, so at the end, we did play. So the
that's
goal.
awesome.
So Eric constructed this thing because he's learning. He wants to learn how to play bass, and we played together 3 times at least. We went up to Georgia, me and Jeff and St. Clair, and went up to Georgia. And when Eric was first learning. Anyway, I got to speed this along.
Wait, Phil. Eric built a music studio and he doesn't know how to play an instrument.
He was learning bass like fundamentally
He was or he is.
He was prior to that, and now he's gotten a shit ton better already.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, I think it's a little crazy to go ahead and build a studio and be like, yeah, but I'm still learning to play. I'll get it eventually. I was like, brother, you could do it in your room. You didn't have to build a fucking studio. Just buy an amp and plug it into the freaking outlet. I was really concerned for a second. I was like, you didn't talk him out of that? You can't play an instrument and he built a freaking studio?
Well, he could rent it out.
Yeah, he could do that.
He could do that. He could rent it out eventually.
Oh,
that is hilarious. That was hilarious.
I was very concerned for Eric.
It's all hilarious. This isn't the restroom thing, but it's the I don't have my pouch thing. So give me like 70 seconds or 50 seconds to go. 50 to find my.
Just wasted 25. Get your pouches, man.
What's
the trip?
I don't know, isn't he?
Yeah.
We just laugh. Every time we get together, we just laugh.
He's a very, I guess, how do you, like, giggly person. He does giggle a lot. Me and my coworker Joey, who's, I think he's watching right now, but he might have popped off for a little bit. But we all share a cube, so it's like 4 of us, and we each sit like in a corner of a cubicle, and we'll talk sometimes. Like me and Joey will be having a conversation, and he just hears something. He's not involved in the conversation at all, but he just starts cracking up at his desk. And so he's always listening. He's always cracking up to like random stuff. Sometimes he talks to himself and he makes himself laugh, which is a great trait, I guess. But yeah, he's an interesting specimen there.
It's pretty funny.
But we have shared a lot of, I know not as much as you and him, obviously, that's a lifetime, but we have shared some musical experiences. Like, how you said, we recently went to Daytona, and that was cool, for Rockville. And that was like a big festival, and Foo Fighters were there, Offspring was there, some like more modern, like punk rock, or I wouldn't really call them punk rock bands, but like, kind of like heavy rock, like heavy metal-ish. But
no, I know the groups. Yeah, that's awesome. Is it a 3-day thing, or is it just like a couple days, or is it 1 day?
That one's actually a 4-day event.
Jeez,
it's a 4-day event, and in fact, like, so it starts Wednesday night. They do a little show, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just full day concerts.
Wow.
But Phil only came on Friday because he's kind of an old man, so he can only stick it out for a day. But I went 2 days, and that was a good time. But
I hear you. I don't know if I can do 4 days.
No. Yeah, but we'd be in for one, and like I was, and you might have to come down. Will, can you come over and bring me one of your cans of little pouches? Because I have a can, but it's displaced. So anyway, they're those little tobacco pouches. They're nothing serious.
Give me 45. I'll be there. I'll be over there.
I know.
Quick 45 minutes and
So we're gonna jump back into this.
Okay.
Well, really quickly, Phil, before you continue, I don't know if you've written this down on your sheet, and I don't want to damper the mood some, but I do want to say, I think you know what I'm going to say. Yeah. I did want to say this. We had a coworker who we actually have talked about on the show before. His name was Kim Shepard. Recently just passed away. He had like some sort of infection or something that just kind of took him out. So just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to give our condolences to Kim Shepard. He's a great guy. He had a crazy musical background. We talked about a story once here where he like sent a video to Jimmy Page who responded to him. Like it was very, very interesting guy. He had cool experiences. I think his dad was involved with like a record company or something like that, or like producing company.
It was a friend of their dad's.
Right. Yeah.
And had the A&R connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just wanted to make sure we get Kim's name out there because he was a good friend, cool, and a very cool music rocker. Played guitar. So.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart. That breaks my heart.
Yeah, bud. So exactly. Well, thank you. I knew that would work its way in. Kim was it? So we're. I can't go. Look, he was electrical discipline engineer, and we're mechanical discipline. But we worked together on, and so actually Kim actually worked with Will. I never worked with him directly, but boy, it was CC DeVille. It was CC DeVille that connected all that. I'm walking in the hallway with Jim Devine like a year and a half ago, and I realized Jim was into this rock that he plays in his office. And oh wow, we're gonna say hi, bud. We gotta say hi to her, Mary Oliver. I know her name, but
she just popped up.
Anyway, of course, but she wasn't even on camera. Bottom line, it was the connection with CC DeVille because I'm talking to Jim and Kim just happened to be near us, like in the hallway in front of the elevators. And I said, CC DeVille. I said, CC DeVille. And Kim goes, oh, wow. Yeah, I know him.
So do millions of other Americans, Kim. That's great.
And I was like, holy shit, I got to talk to this guy. Anyway, he passed away Monday. And bless his heart.
So sorry.
Yeah. So, Mary Oliver can join anytime. Believe me, we've never had it.
Oh, she might. She'll probably pop back up. So shoot the shit section. We covered that. I went over to Eric's, set the drum set up Sunday. We were together for 3 hours. We bonded like no other mother. It was just so fucking cool. So I basically bought this drum set and he paid me for it. It was like $250, and it was just the same. It was the first drum set I ever bought. It's not the same set, but it's the same. It's Tama Swing Stars, and it was the same. I had those same drums. These were like a little earlier and had like better hardware and shit. So anyway, we went up. We spent 3 hours and set the drum set up in Eric's studio called the Rock Box. It's in St. Cloud, Florida. Yeah. But when you come to visit, we're gonna go over to Eric's at the Rock Box. Oh yeah, we gotta.
He is so pumped about this. So that was that. I'm sticking with the Evanescence is coming. But this will be obscure. You're going, really? But anyway, Evanescence is coming, and I'm going to go see him June 11th on a Thursday in West Palm Beach. Well, join me if you can. But I'd rather go. I want to go solo. But if anybody comes with me, it'd be Will. because he was just like,
Hey Phil.
I'll meet you in an hour.
Hey Phil.
Like,
Yeah.
No, go solo, man. Go solo. That's cool.
I'm gonna go solo.
I'm gonna go see Rush solo. So I'll send you videos.
Send the pictures from
Yeah.
the
I'll get on the stage.
No, actually, I know Evanescence, Phil.
Oh my gosh! But they've had a rebirth, and we'll talk about it offline. Or
Yeah.
but they have a huge rebirth. And
Wow.
I've been so Will. So, but Will, this is worth repeating. Will went to see My Chemical Romance like last year, and so
Wow.
tell us who opened.
Yeah, Evanescence opened for them, and I got to see them.
Get
in
out of here.
force. And they, their drummer, I forget the guy's name. Phil, do you know? I forget his name.
Will Hunt. Will Hunt is the drummer.
Will
Yeah.
Hunt. He is a beast, a freaking beast, dude.
Will Hunt.
He was playing his heart out, and unfortunately, the audio wasn't great for that concert. So, like, I don't know. I think it was a mix of the speakers were not great, and then the drums were like colliding because there was no like spacer between the drums and the guitar and
Right.
the singer. So like I think the drum waves were like colliding with the other sound waves, so it was kind of like murking up the guitar and the bass and stuff like that.
Hard to
But
hear.
because of that, the drums sounded great because he was like mostly the only thing you could hear. But just like watching him on stage too, he was freaking going crazy, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll check it out on YouTube and see if I can find him.
Yeah, you could probably. Yeah, I'm sure you can. But Evanescence, they are freaking killer. Oh, what is that? Oh, Yellowtail.
My favorite.
Phil, I think if I gave you a wine bottle filled with piss, you couldn't tell the difference.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
What is that? Like $5 a bottle or something?
It's six. It's six.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to downcharge you.
Best $6 you can ever spend.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, he's familiar with that. So, well,
there you go. There you go.
So fun. I think I won't mention Turnstile because we'll just save that because we still have to do a post. Will and I still have to do a post Rockville debrief.
Yeah,
because Will couldn't make it last week. So
last week was tough.
We'll save that. You were coaching football for fucking high school.
Football. Marshall was in here taking up the limelight.
Marshall. The Marshall interview was last week. Real quick, and then we'll go into your thing. Becky went to high school with a guy named Marshall Ostovich, and he was in bands back in their high school days.
Right.
Lo and behold, they're still playing right now. And but if you could come down, it will have to time it where like Element 7 and Marshall's band's playing, and then go to Sanford. But to see these guys, especially Element 7, and matter of fact, they're coming. And that was on this too, but I don't have the date written down.
Bill, don't take him to Pintos. Don't take him to Pintos.
It'll be above board Cocoa Beach action.
I'd love it.
These bands, my God, and I know all the guys. I know most of the guys in the bands. Marshall with his bands, and I met all his band members, and of course Carolyn's band, and the guys in Death Effects. I have a sticker on my car, Death Effects, and I gave him my card and said, "Hey, I want to interview you guys." And he said, "We're doing we're releasing a CD soon or a recording soon." and we'll wait till that's out before we do that. So anyway, I'm meeting local musicians, and it's really cool. Oh my
Wow.
god, yeah. But boy, I went down the.
That's cool. It is. It's awesome to do.
Yeah. So that's all the shoot the shit stuff.
So usually I would say move it along, Thomas, but we got two Thomases in here, so I have to specify today. Move it along, Phil. Keep it rolling.
I can put a hat on it. You can tell the difference.
Okay. So the feature, we're at 35 minutes. Going to the feature is really good timing. But my gosh, it started in Jax. We touched on that in the intro. Started Jacksonville.
Yep.
But the first thing I have down there is my first recollection was the Beatle records in the 60s.
Yeah.
Before you saw them. Well, they actually,
they were
the records. Tell us. Oh my God.
They were. It was the Beatles, and I remember. I don't know if you were old enough, but we were all sitting around the table, and they were on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I liked them right off the bat. And Mom and Dad were going, "You like that?" And because all I'd ever heard was Dad's, jazz music and some classical things they had laying around, and I said, "Yeah, I like it." So I guess it was years later. I'm not sure where we lived anyway. So they came to Jacksonville, Florida on September 11th, 1964. And it was also called the show that almost didn't happen because Hurricane Dora had hit the night before, like wiped out Jacksonville Pier. Half the city had no power at all. So we didn't even know if they were going to perform, but they finally did. And then they had this, I've heard that they had to nail the winds. I can remember the wind. The wind was blowing so hard. They had to nail Ringo's drum kit down because he had a raised platform. They had to nail the freaking drum kit down to the ground so it wouldn't blow away. Oh yeah. So I remember that. Mom and I went. Dad got tickets and we went. We tried to go at the. Oh no, that's right. Well, I'm not sure, but anyway, we were living in a hotel because the first years in Jacksonville, that's where you live, Phil, at first. And we were at the Hotel Roosevelt, but we were told that they were going to stay at the Hotel George Washington, which is a sister hotel down the street. So Mom and I went down trying to find it. We never did.
George Washington. George Washington.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing, just the last thing about the Beatles is and especially in 63, 64, and if they traveled in 65, I'm not sure. You saw the Beatles, but you never heard the Beatles because the girls were screaming so loud. I mean, they were crying, they're screaming. Once in a while you get a whiff of a verse of a song. Right. But it was amazing. I mean, I hold that in my heart because I mean that they were just. To this day, I still love them. So,
but let me add, that was at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Gator Bowl
outside
64.
Bill, you never told me you were a hotel toilet baby.
I was like 1 and 2, so
he was tiny.
I didn't remember.
Those were great years. Yeah, they were great years. So that was fun.
Man,
we lived there 3.
You, Mom and Dad and Trace,
3 years before we got the house.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun, but it was fun.
Yeah. So basically, Bud, Trace, and Mom and Dad were at the Roosevelt Hotel, and then when Mom got pregnant with me, Dad figured and he probably had the means at that point, hey, we're gonna buy a house, and we moved out to Sandalwood.
Yeah,
Sandalwood.
We were the first ones.
Sandalwood.
We were the first one of the band members to buy a house because I guess they figured they're staying. So why not? And then everybody else followed.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So we're in the house.
So, yeah, that
We're in the house in Jacksonville, and
Yes.
so my recollection, what at age 4 and 5 in particular was
Mhm.
as you get older, you realize this thing's happening. The Beatles are happening, and I'm a child, like 5, 4. Really, it started at 4, and because Bud, you were getting the Beatle albums, and so basically, Bud's getting the Beatle albums real time. You know when they're coming out, and I'm 4, and then 5, and then 6, and it was my first Beatle record that I remember was Beatle 65. Right, and I was up at the Chesney's house there at the end of the block, and Beatle 65. And
Okay, this is two. Okay,
and
this
I
is two.
no idea who was playing. Yeah, Chesney's. Oh my God!
Guess what album? Guess what album I was? Guess what album I was playing today, Phil? You're not gonna believe it. Beatles 65.
Oh my God!
I swear to God.
Oh. Wow.
I swear to God. I thought that it was Beatles 64, and I had to go back and look, and they said, no, it's Beatles 65. I played that today. It was so good. So good hearing it again.
Hey, Brooke is
A lot of memories.
I turned Brooke on to all the Beatles, all 65, Beatles 65, and Brooke is totally attuned to it all, and certainly Zach was years ago. But let's move on then.
All right.
Well, Phil, I got a question for Bud though.
Yeah, go. Well,
But off the top of your head, how many times did you change Phil's diaper?
Never.
never.
I never was asked. I never was asked.
Well, so modern time, the guys changed the diaper, but back in those days, it was mom or a helper, a female helper. Yeah, that and never.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
That's it. That's really all I wanted to know.
Yeah, never.
Out of all the information here, I just wanted to know.
I wish I had a funny story to throw in, but
I mean, like, yeah, you saw
I'm
like,
being honest.
you saw like Ringo and John and all those people, but I just needed to know if he ever had to wipe your ass or something. Yeah, the Beatles stuff is cool, but I mean, I gotta ask the real question.
Oh God, no, this is funny enough. He gets right down to it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's hysterical.
God. Well,
That's hilarious.
work on that comedy routine, brother. My God. He needs to go out and do stand up.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He's trying to figure out.
Yeah, you could. Actually, you could. I can see it. I can see that.
Hey, Bud, real quick, and we'll go on. That was the Beatles and Jax, but mom, you were just focused, and you would look over at mom, and she was like clapping, I'm sure, and like freaking out too. Like, thought it was great. Because I never, mom, she's probably next to you. He's thinking.
I remember. Shit. I can remember the night. I can remember it so clear. I can remember the day as if it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom and I walked over through the Coliseum. We picked up some Beatles souvenirs, and yeah, it was great. It was really great.
But the Jacksonville Coliseum, I I think I went my first concert there, $3 night with Tracy. And where was the Jacksonville Coliseum? Was it downtown?
Um, no, it was outside of downtown, but not far. It's
Gotcha.
been so long, I'm not
Yeah.
really clear. It was outside of the the buildings and things,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
I'm not sure what road it was on, what road to get over there. I know you had to drive a bit, but not too far. Yeah,
And
yeah. I
was
forgot.
there not a venue out toward the beach? I don't think there was. It was
No,
Jacksonville.
not then.
There
I
was
mean,
only one.
there
There
could
was
have been
only one.
later. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
All right. I have Hendrix down here, and
Uh,
but I'm going to leave this up to you. Do you want to
okay.
segue into what you guys are listening to now, or do you want to do Hendrix first?
We'll do Hendrix real quick. I mean, it's kind of a
Yeah.
short story, but
Do
my
tell.
sister was into the. My sister was. I'm saying names that people probably aren't going to remember. The Monkees. The Monkees were like a huge deal. Toward the end of the Beatles' popularity, the Monkees came along, and they were like so popular, like super popular. And the girls, again, the same thing, would scream and yell and during the concert. But and Rolling Stone calls this the most mixed. I can't even say it, but the mixed mashup of any groups touring together.
Yeah,
And Jimi Hendrix was the opening act for the Monkees.
Jimmy Hendrix. Yeah,
Because Michael Nesmith was into like a lot of experimental music. He didn't do it on the albums, a couple songs kind of, but he was mesmerized by Hendrix. And they said when Hendrix would play, he would just sit in front of, or off to the side, but right there looking at him, just in amazement. And his mouth was open, and so anyway, but the thing is, he started getting booed. Like as soon as they started playing, they booed him off. They would almost boot him off stage, and this happened several times in their concerts when they were traveling to different cities. And finally, they said, "Look, this just isn't working. It's not the same crowd." But I just remember hearing this music, which I had never. There we go. But it was like music I'd never heard in my life.
Right, Jimmy, on stage. So, but completely.
Yeah.
Here, let me just send this to like as a token for all the people listening. Whoever's on, we have no idea. We're blasting through this. We haven't seen the comments. We're so mesmerized over Bud's stories, and hopefully some family and friends are attending. So
Wait, so Jimi Hendrix was getting booed off stage, or the Monkees?
Hendrix.
No,
Jimi
Hendrix
Hendrix was getting booed off stage
because the Monkees were very big time, huge, but it wasn't the right crowd because the Monkees were pop music. It was total pop.
Okay.
Bubblegum pop. And Hendrix, Hendrix.
Yeah.
So
it was like Hendrix was like, no, it just wasn't the crowd. But I mean, I'm talking loud booing. My sister booed.
Exactly.
Dang! What the hell?
But again, Mom and I were.
I'll explain this.
Mom and I were sitting right next to each other. There she was.
Mom right there going, she's clapping, going, I think he's great. But bottom line, Will, this is 66. This is the height of the racial tensions in the 60s. And they basically booed him off stage, because you're black. The first inclination would be the Boom because he's black.
Oh, I never even put that. Yeah, I didn't even put that together.
The second explanation is he's doing something from fucking outer space that they don't understand, and they
I
just
know.
we don't
I
fucking
never.
understand
Yeah.
this. Right? But
Hey, we had
No.
Chuck
And
Berry.
I'm sure it was even. Yeah, I'm sure.
There was an
Well, that's
introduction to
true.
this.
That
If
is
they didn't
true.
see him,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think. Yeah, I really think it was just. Probably the race thing too, but I think it was just so out there. The music was just so out there. I don't even know
Right.
if there was a definition for it when he played.
I honestly think I think Bud seeing Jimi Hendrix get booed off stage as an opener is a more interesting story than going to one of his arena shows where everybody loves him, right? Like that's like saying like,
Right,
oh, I
right.
saw Led Zeppelin in a bar and the bartender had to kick them out because the people hated them so bad in England, rather than being like, oh, I saw him
I
at a
hear you.
show in Miami, you know.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah.
and it turns out there's a Zeppelin experience in this interview that we'll get to. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I was trying to keep up with the comments. Will if I'm going to talk a little bit.
Go ahead. It's your show.
We are. I sent one out and said, sorry, we haven't responded. So if you could look at those. And I don't even know who's on. It's hard to say.
Joey had commented, Anthony commented, nephew JB commented.
Oh, nephew. Oh, wow. So, but we got like a dozen listeners at least. Will, can you comment on our dear friend Joey? But we share a cube with Joey Garcia, and he's a dear friend. And
I hate that guy.
It turns out Will has spent time with him recently. Will, tell Bud about it.
Yeah, so he's the biggest scumbag you'll ever meet in your life. There's really nothing good to say about him, you know, other than that he works with us. I just want to make sure Bud gets a good idea of him, you know.
Exactly. But they're like brothers. They're brothers. And
acquaintances at best.
That's awesome. Hey, Joey.
I hope I'm gonna tell him to watch this part. 53 minutes. Okay, I'll tell him to watch this part. I'm gonna say, hey Joey, I introduced you to Bud. You should check it out. I'll try to get him to do it tomorrow at work live.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. That was the comic relief. And it wasn't a comic relief. It's Will at his finest, man. So the feature, we covered the Beatles. We just covered Hendrix. But I interjected, what are you listening to now? What are you and Todd listening to now? Because I know it's fucking eclectic. So, but you're ahead of me my whole life.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, there's so many. And I'm probably going to spaz out and not remember them, but I really like Castanets. They're a group. Well, they're not together anymore, but they were from California and they were used in a lot of film soundtracks.
Wow.
It's really kind of edgy, and they did a lot of stuff for film. And what the best one they did, the soundtrack for, was called All My Friends Are Funeral Singers, which is a trippy film. You should watch it if you get a chance. Yeah, All My Friends Are Funeral Singers, and that's where I first heard the Castanets. Oh God, see, I knew I was going to blank out. I'll tell you one thing: the album is going to shock Phil and maybe Will. I'll tell you one of the albums that I played more than anything last year in 25.
Wow.
Don't
But
laugh,
hold on.
don't laugh. Oh, go ahead.
I want to write this down. This is where I
What?
get the pen now.
God
and I write
Damn
this.
it, Phil! You're keeping me in suspense. Hurry up. I was waiting to hear that. I was on the tip of my freaking seat.
You got the pen, go. But I'm sorry.
I wish I had I do. I got my phone, and I can.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Castanets. I wanted to say this, and I've never told anybody this.
Okay.
The album that I could not get off my, because I still have CDs, or my Spotify or whatever I got. And the album that I could not get off my stereo was Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. And the album,
Cowboy Carter? No.
Cowboy
no.
Carter.
Really?
It was musically, it's brilliant, it's political, it's up to the date political, and that's kind of what I really got into it for. Because I didn't know Beyonce from anybody. I didn't even know. I heard the name, she's popular, and I went, eh. But she did they call it a country album, but it's not.
Well, that's a
there's
big
some serious
thing. That's a really big thing. So, Phil, I don't know if you know this, but last year at the Country Music Awards, Beyonce won like Best Album of the Year or like Best Something of the Year for the Cowboy Carter, and people were pissed because it's like not really a country album.
Yeah.
So,
no, and it's not. See, that's it. There's some songs on there that approach country.
Right.
But it's beyond country. And I think the main thing that I liked about it was just musically it's beautiful. It's beautifully done. Willie Nelson makes a cameo on it, and it was just really good, and it really hit me because of the politics. Let me look real quick because the Castanets was one.
I think I've listened to it like a couple of times.
But
that was crazy though. That was a crazy thing to say. So I was not expecting that.
I was not either. And Bud's always been up on whatever the latest thing was, but he's a step ahead of it all. Him and Todd a step ahead of it. Fucking all.
Yeah. But the reason I was ahead of it back in Jacksonville, kind of Jacksonville, and maybe even under Orlando, was I was reading Cream magazine, which was a rock magazine, which was brilliant. But it covered America and what was going over in Europe. So, that's where I found Kraftwerk, and I found the experimental bands that were coming over. So a lot of that was true. Another band that I really, really like is called Morcheeba, and I don't know if you know that band, but Morcheeba, and they've been around quite a while, and I really like them.
Wow.
There's another band, 07, which I really like, and Phil, you probably like it too, and probably will. It's very jazzy. It's kind of jazzy. But 07, definitely write down. I don't know who the female vocalist is, but she's amazing. And I think it's a lot of these groups. I know Morcheeba is still around because they're touring. 07 may be touring, but I'm not sure if they're still together. And have you ever heard of a guitarist named Jose Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he plays on a lot of their Morcheebas. Morcheeba.
Gotcha.
I like Hoover Phonic. They're amazing.
So but can I interject?
Yeah.
Hoover Phonic. Tell Will and I about that because we have no fucking idea.
Oh, Hoover Phonic? Oh. Well, the first time I visited New York, it was like the perfect soundtrack for New York. How can I describe them? They're kind of like 07, but 07's very jazzy. Hoover Phonic is a little more jazzy, but not quite as rock. kind of not rock influence as much.
Mhm.
But both I would say both bands are like two of my all-time favorites. Zero Seven and Hooverphonic. And Hooverphonic has gone through several female vocalists. They're still recording, but the female vocalist has changed.
Yeah.
So they keep changing. Todd's not real fond of the new one. I think she's great, but both bands are like really worth checking out.
Oh my gosh.
Morcheeba and 07. Yeah, they're awesome. And there's so much, Spotify when they do, and this is where I'm getting a lot of it now, is I'll listen to these like recommended for you or I mean, it just blows me away. And then we'll link on to something, and then, they'll have the playlist, and then I'll often stop. And if there's a band that I would just think I would like or something, or liked what I heard, I'll go and check them out. So, I wish I could give you like a full list. I mean, there's so many.
But that's okay. You're good. We'll go and then go. That was amazing.
No, that is cool. It's funny. It's funny because you said I assume that you try to listen to new things because you're trying to seek out some new sounds, some new people sometimes.
All the time.
Right, and like how you're For You on Spotify, because I'll sometimes listen to like the recommended tracks that Spotify creates too. But it's funny because you are kind of listening to like newer music, or some of them might not be super new, but like
that Bud and Todd are like plugged in, like
my recommended for me is like Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana. Like it's all old. I only listen to old shit. I don't really listen to too many new bands.
Well, I like the old stuff too, though. See, that's where it's at for me.
But it's like my Spotify would be like, oh, new For You, and it's like fucking Eric Clapton from 1989. And I'm like, well, it's not new, but I guess it's new for me, so I'll listen to it. But
oh yeah, that's great. I mean, that is awesome. There's some great old. Some of the older songs are amazing. I still listen. As a matter of fact, I had on Jimmy Page and Robert Plant's "Walking into Clarksdale" the other day, and that's an old album, old album. But I mean, the songs rock. I mean, to me, it sounds like Zepp, but
sure.
Yeah.
For some reason, I lost my set list. But anyway, but great guys, great. So we segued into what Bud is listening to now, and everybody got to check out there.
Yes.
And go because I'm telling you, speaking, they're always good. They're always great. Every band Bud ever turned me on to, I like spun off and checked out. But Bud, this is not on the sheet. Peter Gabriel. So Bud proceeded to tell me about Peter Gabriel when I was graduating from high school and went to UCF in 80 and 81. And Bud said, check out Gabriel. And he had left Genesis. It was Gabriel's solo career. And oh my God, I just indulged and
I know.
And he's so minimal and so fun. Those albums are so fucking great. It was Gabriel. So Bud turned me on to Peter Gabriel. It's not on the sheets, but man. And I guess
still one of my favorites. Still one of my favorites, and still putting music out. And Phil, I go so far back. I have cassettes. I have music cassettes. You made me a Peter Gabriel compilation album back then too. You made it. I still have it. The compilation. It's got San Jacinto. It's got Biko and just all those amazing. After something about the Here Comes the Flood. Red Rain. I mean, just all kinds of old stuff. Just brilliant. The guy's brilliant. He's calmed down a lot. I'd like to see him get a little more edgy, but
he has
You know, he's
come,
getting older. He's getting older.
but he's torn again, and
Yeah.
man, we should try to see that together. But so Bud turned around to Peter Gabriel, and okay, yeah. Anyway, so great live show that I saw. I wish you would have been there, but bottom line, Bud turns around. So will you get the idea?
Did you see him live? Bill, did you see him live?
Yeah. 93. I went by myself.
Wow. I never did. Wow. I never got to see him. He came to Atlanta and I should have gone and didn't. That was stupid.
Exactly.
Was so stupid.
Right. Yeah, same. I did.
Yeah, still, and to this day, still one of my favorites. I play him all the time. Still.
Exactly. So that was Gabriel. So we're gonna move on here. So we're coming out of there's a connection but with all of us, your recollections of Leonard Skinner in Jacksonville. And did they do the
this is cool. Yeah, this is cool about Skinner. Before they recorded, I mean years before they recorded, they played live concerts. I don't know, during the summer, but they played at a place called Greenfield Stables. And they had horses but they would hold these like little mini rock concerts. Leonard Skinner by far was the favorite of everybody. They would always go on last. I mean, we all perked up when he played
Jacksonville.
And so we went several times. Yeah, this is Jacksonville. I don't even know if Greenfield Stables is still there, but anyway, there was a pond you could go swimming in, which comes up later in this story. And my friend Don, there was a bunch of us that would go every week. We'd set our blanket out and bring our little, Shiva statues and burn incense.
That old, outdated incense.
Yeah, we'll have to go on that topic again. But so we were wannabe hippies because we were too young. We were just not old enough for that. But Skinner would play and everybody would just be enthralled with them. And I don't think their sound back then, because they kind of got that Alabama rock and roll thing.
Right.
And it became more pronounced. And I think the only song that they did that was wound up on the album, I think, is Freebird. Because that was always their closing song, even at that little concert. But they hadn't recorded yet. It was like years after.
That's crazy.
Yeah, years after they recorded. But I was too bad Phil's not there. The weirdest story, kind of fun story, but sad. Don recorded them at Greenfield Stables and recorded it on a cassette.
Yeah.
He put it back in his pocket and he went swimming after that. And the whole tape just got screwed. Yeah. So that would be worth a fortune now because
an original cassette before they even recorded.
I know, but I can't believe it. And I didn't even remember that till Velda, his sister, told me. See, yeah, don't you remember Don went swimming with the cassette? And I went, oh God, I do. I remember he was so mad at himself. But they were, I don't know, there was something, their sound changed a bit. It got real southerny, and I don't believe it was that way in the beginning. I don't think.
They were rocking.
I don't really remember. I just know we loved them. Yeah, everybody loved them. So
gosh.
And they started getting pretty well known, and people started coming more because Leonard Skinner was playing. And so they were big even back then before they recorded. Of course, then when they recorded, they became like, what happened.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good, that's a memory. That's a memory.
Gosh. That's why we're talking about this. It's fantastic. It turns out there was an incident over to my right that I'm kind of recovering from.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, it involved my remote control.
Pee on yourself?
Had some wine spilt on it.
Oh, is it okay?
I think we can. Yeah.
Well, here's a question.
I don't
Here's
know how. Well, I don't know how that happened.
For both of you. Now, Will, did you like Leonard? I know. Did you like? This is for Will. Did you like Leonard Skinner?
Yeah.
They were
I grew up
popular.
I grew up listening to them. I mean, I wasn't around when they were popular, as in like the 1980s, but I grew up listening to them.
Right. Oh,
My dad is
cool.
a big country guy.
Did you like him, Phil?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil, you like Skinner.
Did you like him, Phil?
So, but you may not, you actually probably don't know this. Eric, back in middle school, I think we were in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Now, Second Helping came out, and Eric. That's when Eric and I really bonded, and he said, "Second Helping, man, this is like the fucking coolest shit." And I listened to it full on, and I was hooked to no end. Second Helping,
right?
My record, Second Helping,
right.
To no end,
and that's a good memory. Leonard Skinner, especially at those concerts.
Yeah,
it's like a little tiny mini Woodstock for a day.
That's really cool, though, that like you were able to experience that.
Yeah,
that
was pretty awesome. And then I remember we were in Orlando, Kissimmee. We were living in Kissimmee then when the album came out, and I just remember going to the record store and getting it and just like showing it off to people driving down the road. Oh my God, Leonard Skinner finally recorded! And so I was like kind of insane there with that, because I was waiting, because I kept saying that band is going to resurface.
Right.
I said they were too good and too popular.
So I feel like in today's day and age, a lot of like people so like for example, I'm trying to think of someone pretty popular nowadays. Let's just throw someone out there, like let's throw out like Sabrina Carpenter. I'm sure both of you might know who she is, even if you don't listen to her music. So like a lot of people, when they first listen, like she was releasing music. She used to be an actress on Disney Channel, and she made music when she was like 16 or 17, but like nobody listened to her because they knew her as an actress. They didn't know her as a musician.
Yeah.
But then all these years later, her music blew up, and she's like a big pop star now.
Right.
And a lot of people are like, oh, all the fans today, like people on social media, they'll be like, oh, all these new fans, like I've been listening to her since she released music when she was 16 on Disney Channel.
Wow.
And they'll like brag about being like a day one fan. Well, Bud really was a day one Leonard Skinner fan. Like he was watching them in a fucking. I feel like if anybody could brag about being a day one band fan, it'd be Bud with Leonard Skinner, watching them in a fucking cornfield play a rock concert. I don't think like all the people that go to the records, like, so there might be people that went to the record store and they released their first album. They're like, well, I've been listening to Leonard Skinner since they released their first album. I think I'm a bigger fan than anybody else. Like, did you watch them at the stables though? Because I did. So,
I alluded to Will about the stables thing.
That was cool.
What was your recollection of Fletcher High and the coat that they named the band after?
Oh, it was their coach.
Sorry,
I think it was their coach.
Like their gym coach, I think.
Yeah. And his name was Leonard. I don't know if it was Skinner or not.
It wasn't Skinner.
Yeah, it was Leonard. He was a
It's a Fletcher High. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Fletcher Junior High was kind of instrumental in music too, because
wow.
I wasn't like the strongest dude, and I saw a lot of people get beat up almost every day. Somebody would get into a fight with somebody. So I hung out because I knew I wasn't tough enough to like get into an altercation. So I would hang out with the heads, the people that sold drugs, because I wasn't even doing them then. I wasn't even doing drugs, but everybody was just so freaked out by them, and I guess they bought from them. So I was hanging around, but we turned on. I think that's when Dark Side of the Moon came out, and somebody in the group would bring a record player, and so we'd have all this group. We'd just sit around listening to this music, like Montrose. I remember all of this stuff. But I hung out with them just to kind of like, not make myself so
you
obvious.
got cool guys.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I loved them. They were great people. But yeah, they were the ones selling drugs, but also listening to the best music. So I was in heaven. It was like, go, man, go.
So, Bud, I know you individually have seen a lot of people that Phil's mentioned to me, like, and some of the names we talked about today. But I guess for Phil and Bud, do you guys recall like shows that you went to together?
Yeah.
Like, what concerts did you go to together?
I'll let Bud answer that.
Oh, well, the first one I think we went together to was 3 Dog Night. I was there it was my sister, Phil, and myself.
I think we should fast forward through that to the Kiss show at the Eddie Graham Sports Stadium.
Oh yeah, that was wild. I remember Leanne and I had gone to see Blue Oyster Cult, and one of the shows we saw them several. We were both in love with Blue Oyster Cult. And in one of the concerts, there was an opening band that no one had ever heard of, and they may have recorded or about to release. And it was a group called Kiss. We were like, I remember Leanne and I were just so in love with them right off the bat. That's where I turned on to Kiss. And then Phil and we saw several concerts together. Oh, and I remember there was an experimental group from England called Nectar. And Phil, it was very electronic. Remember the Future. Actually, that's a really good album too. It's called Remember the Future, and Phil and I went to that one. It was so great because nobody really knew them. Again, from Cream Magazine, I was getting this info, and I knew I liked them, and I'm sure about the album. But Phil and I went, but the stadium was not packed at all. But I mean, there just was not a lot of people there, but it was so good. The concert was so great. They did projections behind the band, and
that's cool.
It was really
hey, but what's on the page? But one of my favorite memories, and we saw them twice, was Uriah Heep. Uriah Heep. Without a doubt.
Was who?
No, another grand. Love Uriah Heep. The Magician's Birthday.
With the broken arm.
What was the one I liked? As a ballet dancer, kind of a spacey ballet dancer on the front. Yeah, I loved Uriah Heep. So we saw those together, Phil. That's awesome.
Twice.
And didn't we see what was the big one back then that played a lot of Bob Seger? We went to see Bob Seger together, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Well, not necessarily.
Oh, yeah, I think we did.
I might have.
Oh, we didn't?
Well,
we did.
You were so Bud, tell people Bob Seger actually came from, well, I'm not gonna go to that rabbit hole. So oh my gosh. Let's make sure that Bud is I understand this thing is kind of sporadic.
Well, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say
Please.
that.
Jesus Christ. Joey, can you slap him in the face with a fucking paddle?
I was gonna say that. I think it is really interesting when, like, I mean, I've already gotten a lot from Phil, but then also with Bud. I think it's really interesting when, like, you guys talk about seeing these bands for the first time that, like, in my day and age are like rock history legends. You know what I mean?
Kiss.
Like, you're like,
Right.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, we went to see Blue Oyster Cult and a band called Kiss opened for them. I'm like, you know, I've never, like, I would never in my mind think of Kiss other than anything like their huge legacy, you know. Not,
Right.
like
Right.
in my lifetime, I would never experience just like, oh yeah, this band is opening for AC/DC and they're Whitesnake, you know, like
Yeah.
like.
Right.
For me, they're already these established rock
Right.
history legends.
Right.
So it's like cool to hear that perspective of like, oh, Leonard Skinner. Yeah, the first time I heard them, they were in a field. Rather than like me, it's like I know them as sold out stadiums, like
It's so true.
multi-billion-dollar records sold.
Right.
You know, like it was just so crazy to hear that perspective. I mean, you're
Yeah.
literally walking history. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing. That was a group that I really wanted to see go get big and record, and they did. It took a few years. It took a few years, but yeah, I remember that really well.
So,
Yep.
guys, that was fantastic.
Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Hey. Oh, anyway, Todd came in. Todd, say hey.
I love Todd.
Hey.
I love Todd. Yeah, he hears. So we're carrying on. I had Marvin Case. I had Marvin Case down there, but we probably should get stuck into that because we should stay on the music front.
Okay.
Albums you gave me.
Yeah, that's one. We kind of did that, I think.
Albums
we did that
you
a little bit.
Yeah. So, but with in Kissimmee, it was on a pretty frequent basis. Bud would be listening to stuff. Started with Mott the Hoople.
Yeah.
In Kissimmee, and Mott the Hoople was the fucking shit. And Bud had the poster on his door, and it was a poster like, wow. I looked at it several times, but it was kind of a poster like, don't enter.
Oh no, it wasn't that scary. It wasn't that scary.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
But bottom line, it was their poster. I was like, all these guys, really, Bud, you're right. Actually, it was a peaceful thing. It was just 4 guys with long hair. Long hair.
Yeah.
Longer hair than down to your fucking like middle of your back.
Yeah.
Mick Rouse. So I'll do a segue, Mick Rouse. And Bud remembers that name. He might not remember what Mott the Hoople, and he does. And he was in Bad Company. Mick Rouse joined Bad Company.
And went on which is another band I liked. I like Bad Company a lot.
And I saw Bad Company in Lakeland in like 82.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But I didn't see them live.
That was a segue. I will skip Marvin Gaye's. Marvin Gaye's downtown
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Albums you gave me. I don't think we're done yet. We did Skinner, we did Hendrix, we did Beatles. Okay, I think we're on to
Bowie, David Bowie.
Bowie, right.
Bowie.
So Will, there's a whole Bowie story here, but I'm gonna let you take it.
Yeah. Well, I was again, Cream Magazine talked about this guy named Bowie, and
This guy named Bowie,
David Bowie, and not knowing anything about him, but I fell in love with the music right away. And he got really big. It was a hard start.
I didn't know that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know.
But you did. You knew. Silly.
David, I think I've heard that name once or twice.
Yeah, you should go into stand up. You would be great. I'll watch your special. Yeah, but David Bowie, and so of course, then he started coming up with all these albums and all these different personas, and I had every album he had, and then he came out with, and this is where it goes somewhat interesting, is he played Orlando when he was touring with the Diamond Dogs tour. Wow. And the Diamond Dog tour had played the night before in Tampa. Wow. And on the way to the area, the venue, Phil, you know the venue. Was it the highlight? It was the High Life Fronton.
High Life Fronton.
So, yeah, but anyway, the truck with all the sets, and I'll get back into that. The set crashed into a swamp or something, and just completely flipped over on its side. So they were just going to go ahead and do the concert because they were just going to do the concert without all the staging effects that they had. But they did pull it out, and they pulled it off. But it was the most amazing set I've ever seen in my life. It was these. It's hard to describe. You can look it up on the net, but
it was all these truck out of the swamp.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It just went sideways, but it went into the water. I think.
Or something and check it out.
But they got it upright and over to the concert in time.
Yeah. Well, that was that night, and it was the next day when the concert was going to happen in Orlando. Okay. But the set was totally freaking amazing. I mean, it had all these buildings. It was like kind of a cartoonish New York almost. Just with these huge buildings, and there was a scaffold that went up and down that Bowie could travel up and down on. The band was underneath. They were covered by a scrim a lot of the times. And it was just, it was like ultra theatrical. He did Space Oddity and with the cherry picker and came over to the audience. In a modified cherry picker. They had this capsule that said he almost got electrocuted getting in because they had all these. It was all aluminum with all these lights inside, just crazy. But yeah, the set. That's a concert I will always remember. Yeah, just because it was just so different.
Bring my screen into the stream, Phil.
So turns out Will here is good at this, but so let me go. Extracurricular. All right. And it's this one?
Yeah. Did the set look like this, bud?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Wow.
That's it. But it was huge. I mean, the whole thing was huge. It took up, I think they even had to take curtains down just to get the thing up, but just all those buildings are just really tall.
Dang. Crazy.
Yeah, and the lighting, that scaffolding you see in the middle was the one that went up and down, so it would just totally descend down to the stage level.
Wow.
So that was working, and then of course the cherry picker thing was cool because he came out over the audience, and there was this capsule thing. I'm not sure because he was doing Space Oddity when he was in the cherry picker. But I'm not sure. But anyway, he did another song. I can't remember. But the interesting thing about this tour, the Diamond Dogs tour, Bowie got
Diamond Dogs.
Yeah.
He got bored. He got Emily, was Leanne with you?
No, it was actually Christine, a girl named Christine.
Oh, Will, there's a whole other story. I never knew there was a Christine. But I had a Christine.
Yeah, you did. I remember. I
for
left.
2 years.
But anyway, I was saying about Bowie.
I'm
Bowie
sorry.
was like just
Chill.
Bowie was just done with the concert. He just got
Yeah.
bored. And
Yeah.
as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I came out in a suit, which became his next persona, the Thin White Duke. So he was
Right.
already thinking about. But anyway, there was a lot of hassles with the band members. There were fights, and they canceled the show, I think, midway through the tour. They just
Wow.
stopped it, but I was so glad I got to see it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. That was cool.
So, well, I have to step outside to get a clip of a cigarette. And I'm gonna bring it in here. There's no smoking involved. So, can
Right.
you
That ended a long time ago.
create some sort of situation?
A diversion? Sure. My diversion. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about stuff that Phyllis said to me.
So, well, let me set this up as Bud saw Skinner back in the Jacksonville days. And so Bud, Will's dad saw Leonard Skinner with Ronnie Van Zant.
Wow. Oh man, what a show.
Connection there. Yeah. So but I'll leave it at that.
Down
Okay.
in SoFlo. Yeah, because we're from Miami. So
Oh, okay.
he had some, I guess, like at the Orange Bowl, like where the Dolphins used to play.
Yeah.
And I know he's told me a couple things about that show. But like, so have you ever trying to think how to phrase this. What were like some of the most memorable bands you remembered seeing? I guess you'd be, because Phil talks about like 9th, 10th grade a lot. I remember he
Right.
told me like he was like big on the Aerosmith albums
Right.
and like getting like, I guess like at that time it would have been rock, but now like the classic rock
right.
like that he kind of really embodies today. So what were like some of the most memorable bands you remember seeing in like that time period? I guess you would have been like, if you're 7 years older than Phil, like in your early 20s or like late teens.
Late teens. It was mostly late teens. Let's see. I saw a band. Some of these bands you might not gonna know, or I don't know. I'm not sure how if anybody still listens. But I saw Black Oak, Arkansas. They were great. I saw Alice Cooper. That was amazing.
Right.
That was a great show.
Still a big name, so I know that.
What was the one? A Beautiful Day. You're not going to know that one. Todd Rundgren. I saw Todd Rundgren. I know we haven't talked about it. I don't think we kind of missed that part. There was a band called Iron Butterfly that played, and there was a story there because we drove over earlier to the camp where they were going to perform, and I don't know why we even went over there, but some musicians were setting up outside on the steps like hours and hours and hours before the concert, and Phil goes, "That's them. That's Iron Butterfly." And I went, "Nah, they're not going to come out. They're not going to do anything out there." And they were setting up all their equipment, and I found out years later it was Iron Butterfly doing a free concert before their concert. And Phil nailed that one. He said, "Yeah, that was them." And I went, I found out years later. Yeah,
I think Phil actually has told me that before. I think Phil has.
The Iron Butterfly story?
Yeah.
I have the second part of the story.
Yeah, we're talking about Iron Butterfly, and Phil goes, "That's them," and I went, "No, it's not." So we drove away, and I found out years later, yes, it was. They were doing a free concert that day. It was like, dang! And their big song then was "In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida."
Right.
But they were big. They were pretty big. I'm trying to think of some other bands I saw.
Yeah, but
I saw the Animals. I saw.
Let me say this.
But we'll come back to Animals. We'll go.
So But I think this is probably like the first mention I've ever gotten of you from Phil was what I'm about to say right now, where Phil goes, "My favorite band of all time is Led Zeppelin, and when I was a kid, my brother Bud invited me to go watch him at concert, but I told him to fuck off." So
I'm skateboarding.
No, I'm hanging out with Eric.
yeah,
Hey, that's all right.
and he
Yeah.
and he goes, "That's probably one of the biggest regrets of my life was not getting to see them live."
Right.
So that's a show. I think it's kind of going to be like a little bit of the headline here for this episode. That's a show I want to hear about if you remember it.
Yes, I do. I will tell you. Friends and I, we went over. I know it was Joey was with me, and I can't remember. The two other people traveled with us from Orlando over to Tampa. And we got there really early. We were all jazzed, and so we were just so excited that we were going to see this band.
1977, by the way.
Right, and then when we walked into the stadium, they had it all set up. There was a huge mirror ball on stage. All their instruments were laid out. They had the stools set for the acoustic set they were going to do. I mean, it was just awesome. But we started drinking. I mean, we got there like 4 hours early, so we started having a few beers.
Sure.
And then the heat, that was great. But we noticed during the day, the sky was getting dark. I mean, dark. And right before they went on, it started to rain. But I will say this, and this is true. It was the cleanest sound I had ever heard in a concert. I don't know who their sound people were, and I'm sure it was theirs, but it was just the most amazing. It was like you were listening to the record. It was right there. It was just so crystal clear. But anyway, it started pouring down rain. And but what happened was an electrical storm was involved too. And lightning was just like popping down on, everywhere. It just seemed like it was in the stadium almost, but it wasn't. So they played like, I think it was like 5 or 6 songs. And then they just said, we'll be back. We're just until the lightning goes away, we'll be back and we'll finish the show. Well, they didn't finish. And it started to not clear up. It was still raining. It wasn't lightning as bad. And then they pulled the plug. So it was like people actually started destroying the stage on the way out. They were so mad that they did not come back on stage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they started throwing things at the stage. They didn't jump on it, but they were throwing everything they can get a hold of it, the equipment.
Chairs.
Yeah.
So.
The weird thing was, I thought they only played one song, and then the lightning started and they stopped. But looking back on it, when I went to YouTube and pulled up the concert, they played like six songs.
Wow.
But I only remember the one. But everybody was disappointed, But at least I got to see them.
Right.
But that sound, I can't even tell you to this day. It was like, I've never been to a concert that had sound that clean before. It was just like clean. It was picking up everything, the bass, everything was just balanced. It was like perfect. It was like listening to the album.
That's Jimmy Page, man. He said, when you see us, it's going to sound the best. Yeah. Jimmy Page.
Hey, Phil, you never told me.
But here's Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
Bill never told me that concert. I don't know if he knew or if this is the first time. Well, I guess I assume he did, but he never told me that concert got cut short due to rain.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought you saw a full Zeppelin set. Wow, that sucks.
They didn't get to they did this whole like half hour, 45-minute just acoustic set. They got off all their electric instruments, and of course, the guitars were still electric, but it was like regular guitars, just acoustic. It was acoustic set.
But
everybody was really mad.
So of the three of us, and of the most people I know, you're one of the few that saw Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
I got to see him
Yeah, you did.
with the firm
Yep.
in
I
'85.
remember.
Gina, yeah.
Yep, you told me.
I had to see him, but Bud saw him on a different level. But really, Bud turned me on to. He gave me the first album was Houses of the Holy, and that's the only record that that's certainly the launching pad.
Yeah.
Well, that's the launching pad.
Yeah, I was just playing that today too.
Oh wow!
Houses of the Holy.
It's like
Dancing
Neil
Days. The first song's Dancing Days. Jesus Christ.
And Jimi Hendrix. I got us our Jimi Hendrix albums.
I think my thing's probably polluted slow enough. So.
I know you
Well,
guys keep
Phil,
jumping in and out.
does
There you are.
does Bud know about the story that you told me of Aerosmith?
Huh.
No.
But what was your recollection? Bud's recollection of Aerosmith? Probably like I was getting turned on to him and skateboarding, and I think Bud sidestepped. He loved them. He loved them. I know, but I think he sidestepped them because he was
Yeah, I
like
did.
his sights were set
Well,
on.
Well, hold on, because Bud said that when he went to see Led Zeppelin, his got cut short because of rain. But you told me a story of a performance that you went to see that got cut short due to a different reason.
Yeah, Bud wasn't there.
Yeah, but does he know? I would like you to tell him the story because it's a good one. It's actually probably one of the best stories I've ever heard of a live performance. Anyways, you know what? If Phil's not gonna say it, I'll tell you, Bud, because I remember it and I think it's a great story. He told me that I think you went with Eric, right? In Lakeland?
Yeah. So
in Lakeland, right? Lakeland Civic
Yeah.
Center.
Lakeland Civic.
Went to go see Aerosmith. Came on stage.
Mhm.
Steven Tyler or Stephen Perry or whatever, doing cocaine up on the stage out of his little leather vest pocket.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He's singing, turning around, doing cocaine, turning back around and singing.
Yeah.
And then he told me
out of here
that he was upset with like the sound, right? The sound wasn't right to him. And so Steven is getting visibly upset on the stage while he's performing because he's not liking the sound. He's kind of bitching to the sound guys.
Yeah.
Eventually has enough, takes his mic stand, sticks it through an amp, and walked off the stage.
Actually happened.
Get out of here.
And they left.
Get out of here.
The performance ended after like 5 or 6 songs, right?
Right. It was like they were 35 minutes. It was over.
Jeez. Wow. No, you never told me that. Wow.
Draw the Line tour. Yeah. Draw the Line.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God.
And
well, I know they're drug
he said, "Well, I know they were into it, but didn't know it was that bad." You know?
Right. Yeah, because the whole band got clean, and years later, the whole band went through like rehab together.
Let me add. Please add. But you indirectly pointed me to Aerosmith.
Yeah.
You really.
Yeah. I like them. Yeah, I love them.
God, you pointed me to
yeah,
them.
I did.
I
love them.
Yeah. Oh my God. So what is left on the list here? Hang on. Sorry, put it away.
I don't have it with me.
The Atlanta Jazz Fest.
I do.
The Atlanta Jazz Fest.
Atlanta Jazz
Fest.
Atlanta Jazz Fest. Let's jump to that because
Oh my God. It was like,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah, it was 3 days. The city of Atlanta put it on, and it was outdoor jazz festival. And they
Yeah.
would have bands. I don't know if they played in the morning. It was probably the afternoon when they started, but it went into late into the evening.
yeah.
And I mean, it was an amazing. We saw some just amazing jazz vocalists, and we like names I hardly can say, but anyway, Sarah Vaughan. We saw Sarah Vaughan. We saw
Sarah Vaughan.
the little Jimmy Scott. We saw Herbie Hancock was there. I mean, just names of that caliber in jazz were there, and they did it for just a number of years. Well, one time Philip came up and visited during the Jazz Fest, and it was probably go to the because he was really into jazz then. Yeah, and then I think yeah. And so we, went over one day to the concert. Well, I don't know if I've ever even heard the group, or I may have. Todd may have already had the album, but it was Medeski, Martin. Was it Medeski, Martin, and Woods? And this band, I'm telling you, I even looked over at Phil. I said, Phil, this is just freaking like Led Zeppelin. This thing was so loud, but so good. Yeah. Yeah, it was just awesome. I mean, the sound was freaking awesome. The guy flipped over his organ. That's another band to really like listen to still. I still listen to Medeski, Martin, and Wood. But they were just like, whoa, they rocked. They rocked it.
They did.
It really kind of blew everybody. I think everybody was kind of blown away.
Exactly.
I think they were expecting them, but not expecting them like that, that loud. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, the Jazz Festival went on for a number of years. They canceled it. We'd already left Atlanta, and now they don't do it anymore. And they also used to do the Montreux International Jazz Fest. That's a big. I don't know if you've heard of that. I know maybe you guys have, but the Montreux International Jazz Fest, and I think it started in Canada, but it traveled.
Yeah, Montreux.
Montreux International Jazz. Anyway, so that was there as well. One was on Labor Day and one was on Memorial Day. So they pushed it out, but then both franchises stopped after we left.
Right.
And so the Jazz Fest doesn't. I don't think it ever caught back on. And this thing was huge. And then the Montreux Festival was interesting because they brought groups in that a lot of people hadn't heard. And I'm sure they probably were by people that knew jazz, and I was not that up on it. So, but it was always great going. But yeah, that one time Philip and I came up, that was good. I'm glad he was there for that, because that was a mind blower.
We there was a lot of those Atlanta Jazz Festivals. So dropping into modern day times. You've told us what you're listening to. I went to Rockville with Will, and we saw some great artists. And my God,
did you see Turnstile? Did you see Turnstile?
So, but so
I like somewhat watched them, but Phil caught them.
Yes.
Yeah. What a sound! Oh, what a new! You turned me on to a new one, because I'd never heard of them, and you sent me a link. That's right, to a song of theirs, and it was like fucking amazing. It was an amazing song. It's like somebody said they were.
What was there?
They were their performance was like really high energy. Like they were really like rousing the crowd. I was surprised. I'd never heard of them before. Phil and my buddy were there. Yeah, and my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, no, they're really good. Like I've been listening to them like for a couple of years now." I was like, "Oh okay," and I didn't really know what to expect, but they were blowing the crowd away. Yeah. I mean, they were on like right before the headliners too that night. I think.
Wow.
I guess it was right before Foo Fighters. It must have been.
It was right, but
yeah. So they were like, they were killing it, man.
Wow. Yeah, what I've heard is I love it. I really like it a lot.
Right, but that's my newfound thing. My goodness. So we might. I don't know what the time is here. 1:49. It always goes late. But I'm gonna leave it up to you. What was your and take like a minute to think about it. What was your favorite musical live experience?
I had a feeling you'd ask. Okay, if I had to pick, I was thinking about this last night. If I had to really pick, it probably would have been David Bowie's Diamond Dogs tour. David
Wow.
Bowie's, just because it was just so it was like a freaking musical on Broadway almost. Because he had dancers with him, and
Wow.
just like the set itself was just freaking amazing, and the lighting and the sound, and then whoever I was there, I think her name was Christina. I'm not sure. It was a minister's daughter. Out of all people who love David Bowie. So I went with her, but we were like right up front. I mean, we were like literally like 5 rows back from David Bowie. It was just
back then amazing. Yeah, really close. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So really, I had to. There was another one that was a toss up, but I thought, nah, that's got to be it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Bowie. Just because it was one, and then it got cut short, so I got to see it before they disbanded. But evidently, the band it was just bad energy all around the show. But so there was another band I was thinking about though. I thought, well, of course, seeing Led Zeppelin, but short. That was too short. But what about you, Will? What was your favorite show that you've ever seen in your life?
Well, on spot.
Well, it's funny because before Rockville this year, I would have said it was Rockville last year when I saw the Pierce the Veil set, because they played at Rockville last year on my birthday, and their set was just crazy. Well, I would have said that, but this year's Foo Fighters set was, so I've never seen like any performances of them live before, and I've watched now like some video of them performing live, and
they roll.
Yeah, and they've kind of been a little formulaic in their live performances now that I watch some videos. However, just like that performance on Friday, so it would have been May 8th of this year. I think that's, anyways, that performance, this Foo Fighters Rockville 2026 performance, might be the best live set of music I'd ever seen in my life. Because those guys, it's very similar to how you said, like,
that's awesome.
Their sound quality sounded like record. It was fucking amazing. David Grohl's voice is still amazing 31 years later. Like, it sounds fucking beautiful. And they didn't play the songs true to like the record. Like, they riffed, and I think it was some of like the best riffing I've ever seen. Like that, like the band, they kind of would all just kind of spur off in the middle of the song and play like different things, like kind of play on the melody or play on the rhythm, and like they would improvise and interconnect so well. I'd never seen anything like that live before. So I thought that was super awesome. Cool. Yeah. But that was really cool.
That's awesome. Phil,
the My Chemical Romance performance that Phil had brought up earlier in Tampa,
that I have not seen.
That was just a cool performance because their record, The Black Parade, they make it kind of like a theatrical performance. Like they have like uniforms and props and like actors on the stage for it.
Wow. That's cool.
So it's not my favorite. It wasn't my favorite performance, but it was definitely one of the coolest performances ever. Like it was like that very like Peter Gabriel, like having some sort of thing on the stage to kind of like envelop what you're singing about. It was that sort of same thing, and like they're like I said, they're all dressed up and shit. So
Wow.
Hey,
Phil, what about you? What about you? What was your best concert ever?
well, I'm glad you hear this, and it was always my favorite, but certainly saw so many afterwards. Jesus, but
Yeah.
it was Jeff Beck.
Oh,
back.
I would have loved
It
that.
was Jeff Beck 81 in Lakeland. Jeff Beck 81 in Lakeland, and so basically, but Eric and these Mark and his brothers.
Yep.
Eric's not the biggest one of those guys. So when we went in there, our goal was to get against the stage before it started.
Yeah.
And we got against the stage before it started. We kind of muscled our way in, actually, and it was the Jeff Beck 1981 tour.
That would have been awesome.
It was their There and Back tour. There and Back.
Yep.
Jeff Beck, There and Back.
Yep.
And Simon Phillips is the drummer. So that tells the whole fucking thing to another level.
Yeah. Wow.
And he's been my favorite drummer ever since. But so Jeff
Beck was awesome.
Yeah. And equal to that is what I experienced at Rockville. Yeah.
Awesome.
Which performance or the whole thing?
The whole thing. Equal Jeff Beck. Will, you get the
you give him too much credit. You give him too much credit.
That is too much credit. It is way too much credit.
Come on, Jeff Beck equal to 25 concerts.
Well, wow.
I know.
Will right all the time. Oh my God.
That's too rich.
All right. I think I'm gonna get going here soon, just because it's past my bedtime. I got a sharp 9 p.m. I think my mom is yelling at me now, and my mom's not here, but
Get off that web podcast. Get off. Oh, I want to do a PSA before I go. I need to do a PSA for everybody listening. Todd and I have noticed that a lot of music is starting to vanish from certain websites, and things like Spotify and Pandora. A lot of stuff that we have CDs still of they've dropped it. They haven't dropped it. So what I would say, and this is what we're saying, is if you have any kind of if you've saved anything, like I'll go back to cassettes. If you have cassettes, if you have CDs, if you have, your files, save them, because I'm telling you, they're starting to go. They're starting to go.
Keep the music alive.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So, I mean, if you got it, save it, because stuff's vanishing. That's all. Stuff is vanishing. All right. Well, this has been great. It's been fun.
This was super fun. It was so awesome to meet you, but Phil has just never stopped talking about you. In fact, he never shuts up anyways, but he uses up a lot of those words to talk about you. You're a big fan. So it's cool to meet you, man.
Yeah, you too. Really, I'm excited, and really you should think about stand up here. Really.
Oh my God.
You might want to just do what do they call those? Like bike nights, and just check it out.
Yeah, we'll Friday night bike.
Just see if it works.
Yeah, I'll invite Phil. He'll let you know.
Yeah.
Well, So I think the thing would be we'll stand up shit. I think I would have to be sitting there, or Joey or somebody. He needs like a foe to like blast his shit. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna fucking heckle me?
No. You but you need somebody that you can talk to, like blasphemous, and it's Joey or me or
Oh,
whoever.
whether you're there or not, I'll do that anyways.
But Joey.
If you're not there, you just can't defend yourself. You know.
Yeah, look out. Stand-up comedians hate hecklers. Well, actually, they riff off of them a lot of times, so it can work out. It can really work out.
Yeah, Phil, I don't really want you to go because like you're my main source of content. I don't want you to be like, hey, don't say that.
Like, what concert were you going, Phil? Were you going solo? Which concert did you say you were going to go?
Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel.
Looking for Gabriel.
Yeah. That's funny.
Alrighty.
This has been a blast, guys. I mean, it's really brought back,
Hang
you know,
on,
because
bro.
I was thinking, like, all the week, couple weeks thinking about, you know,
That's
the
awesome.
questions and stuff. But it's a lot of memories, really great memories.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Phil?
I'm questioning whether we have disconnected from the live thing.
No, we're still live. We're still live.
No, it says live.
We need to end that shit, and then we can talk. That's
Phil, Phil, bedtime, Phil.
Yeah. All right.
No. Stop.
Let's wrap it up.
I
Yeah.
end this fucking broadcast.